Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the thyroid hormones. So, before going to the thyroid hormones, first we have to know the location of the thyroid glands, its structure. So, coming in the present class, we will discuss about the location, structure, synthesis, mode of action, effects, regulation, and disorders of thyroid hormones. So, first we will see the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is the largest gland in the body, and it is located in the neck, inferior the larynx, and spanning over the ventral surface of the trachea. Coming to the functions, thyroid gland mainly secrete thyroid hormones, which are nothing but the thyroxine, which is called as T4 hormone, and triiodothyronine, which is represented as T3. In addition to the thyroid hormones, thyroid gland will also secrete another hormone called calcitonin. So this is a picture depicting the structure of the thyroid gland. So this is a section view of the thyroid gland. If you observe a section view, you are having a brown colored part, which is nothing but the capsule of connective tissue. And inside the basic cell is the follicular cells. Thyroid contains follicles, and these follicles are composed of follicular cells. These follicular cells contain, or these cells secrete the thyroid hormones. The follicular cells secrete the thyroid hormones, which are the T3 and T4. Along with the follicular cell, another type of cell called C cell is present in the thyroid gland, and this C cell secretes the calcitonin. So C cell secretes the calcitonin, and the follicular cells secrete the thyroid hormones. And inside the follicular cells, there is a connective tissue or matrix, which is called as colloid. This colloid is a glycoprotein. It is a glycoprotein. So coming to the overall view, if we see the major component is a thyroid follicle. This thyroid follicle is made up of follicular cells, and these follicular cells will secrete T3, T4 thyroid hormones, and another second type of cell formed is C cell. It secretes the calcitonin. So coming to the thyroid system, how it works means when a stimulus comes to the hypothalamus will secrete thyroid releasing hormone, which is nothing but TRH. This TRH will act on the anterior pituitary gland. It will act on the anterior pituitary gland, and it secretes thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. This thyroid stimulating hormone will act on the thyroid gland, and it will stimulate the thyroid glands to secrete thyroid hormones T3 and T4. Thus secreted T3, T4 hormones will show effects like they increase the metabolism, and they exhibit the growth and development, and mainly they increase the catecholamine effects in our body. So that is about the thyroid functioning. Coming to the synthesis of thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones. I said that mainly thyroid glands secrete two types of hormones. They are the T3 and T4. So first step is iodine trapping. So the iodine which is present in our food will be trapped. That means mine. And the second one is organification of iodine. Third one is cupping of iodine. And next, formation of thyroid hormones, release of the thyroid hormones, and effect of the thyroid hormones, functions of the thyroid hormones. So this is a picture which exhibits the thyroid hormone synthesis. So the iodine which is taken through the diet will enter into the blood, and from the blood through the SIPO, that is sodium iodine transport system, it will enter into the follicle cell. That means through the follicular epithelium, it will passes into the follicle cells. In the follicle, this iodine will be organized. That means it will be oxidized to iodine in the presence of the enzyme thyroid peroxidase. Thus, the oxidized iodine, I minus, will enter into the colloid. That is the inner part of the follicle, colloid. And then after this organified iodine will couple with the tyrosine residues present on the thyroglobulin protein. So, if one tyrosine is iodinification. If it undergoes iodinification, it forms monoiodotyrosine. In the same way, if two tyrosine molecules which are present on the thyroglobulin are iodinized, then we get diiodotyrosine, that is DID. So coming to the mechanism, synthesis of thyroid hormones. The first one is, I said that iodide trapping. So the iodine which enters through the dye will enter into the blood, and that iodide is trapped by sodium iodide importer which is present on the follicular epithelium. Thus, the iodine along with the sodium will move inside the follicle. And this iodide trapping system is blocked by the blockers thiocyanate, perchlorate, pertechnetate. These are the inhibitors of iodide trapping. Then, once the iodine is trapped in the follicle, the second step, that is organification or oxidation of iodine. This step will take place with the help of thyroid peroxidase. That means I minus is converted into I2. So here this thyroid peroxidase is inhibited by the drugs like thioamides. These are mainly used in the treatment of hyperthyroidism and excess intake of iodine, that means more than 150 milligram mcg, more than 150 mcg per day, will also inhibit the thyroid peroxidase enzyme. So once the iodide is oxidized, so that is nothing but organification. So mainly here thyroglobulin is a protein which is present in the thyroid gland, and this protein is having tyrosine residues. So this oxidized iodine will go and couple with the tyrosine residues present on thyroglobulin. So as a result, monoiodotyrosine, that means MIT or diiodotyrosine residues will be produced. So this is called organification. And the next step is coupling. Thus form monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine will couple together and form T3. In the same way, two diiodotyrosine will couple together and form T4. Thus, T3, T4 are attached to the thyroglobulin and they are stored. So, storage. The fifth one is, after coupling, they are the stored. That is, the fifth step is storage. These T3, T4 hormones are stored along with the thyroglobulin. So, whenever a stimulus comes, they will be released. How they are released means by exocytosis and by proteolysis. So, when a stimulus comes, what will happen? The lysosomes will fuse with the stored thyroglobulin and they cause the rupture of the cell and they release the T4, T3 hormones. And thus, so this is a slide showing the formation of T3 and T4. So this is a tyrosine, which is an aromatic amino acid. Mainly here, if you observe, two tyrosine molecules will combine together to form T4. So here, four molecules of iodine, and two molecules of tyrosine will combine together and form T4, which is called thyroxine. In the same way, two molecules of tyrosine amino acids and three iodine molecules will combine and form T3, that is triiodothyronine, T3 hormone. So this is the overall picture representing the production of thyroid hormones. So I said that first one is iodine trapping. How it will occur means through the dye. If you observe, this is the digestion system. So through the dye, dietary iodide by rapid absorption, it will directly enter into the follicular cells, or by the sodium iodide transport synthesis, it may enter into the follicular cells. So third one is by iodine trapping, it may enter into the follicular cells. So by the three methods, iodine is trapped. So that's once it is entered into the follicular cells, in the follicular cells it will be iodized. That means I minus will be converted into I2. Then from the follicular cells it will move into the colloid. In the colloid it will undergo organification. That means iodine will be added to the thyroglobulin tyrosine residue and form monoiodotyrosine or diiodotyrosine, and thus it is attached to the thyroglobulin and stored. So whenever a message will arise, the lysosomes will fuse. The lysosomal peptidases will fuse the thyroglobulin and they will cause the lysis of the thyroglobulin. As a result, monoiodotyrosine, diiodotyrosine will be released. And before that, what will happen means one DIT and one MIT will couple together and form T4, and one DIT and one MIT will couple together and form T3. That means along with MIT, DIT, T3 and T4, which are our thyroid hormones, are associated with the thyroglobulin protein. So when there is a need for thyroid hormone release, a message will be, a stimulus will be reached, and immediately the lysosomal peptidases will act on the thyroglobulin protein and it will digest the thyroglobulin protein. As a result, MIT, DIT, T3, T4 will be released. So thus T3, T4 hormones are released into the blood, and the MIT, DIT, by the action of deiodinase enzyme, they will be converted into, they release free tyrosine molecules and iodine minus, and this iodine minus will recirculate the cycle. So this is the overall process which is occurring during the production of T3 and T4 hormones. So coming to the functions, what will happen means, this is the basic membrane of the thyroid cell. So the iodine which is absorbed will trap and it will be iodized into I minus, and then in the same way the thyroglobulin protein which is present will couple, the tyrosine residues and iodine will couple together and they form monoiodotyrosine, T3, T4 diiodotyrosine. Thus, the thyroglobulin protein is having monoiodotyrosine, DIT, T3 and T4. Then, thus formed TG, when a stimulus is arised, what will happen means, immediately it will be engulfed by the fat vascular parts of the basal membrane and it will be taken into the colloid of the follicle cells. In the colloid, what will happen when a stimulus is reached, the lysosomes will fuse with the colloid droplets. As a result, TG will be digested, T3, T4 hormones are again released outside, and the MIT, DIT which are produced by the action of deiodinase enzyme, again we will get free tyrosine residues and iodine minus. This iodine minus is again utilized in the thyroid hormone formation. Amino acids are involved in the formation of thyroglobulin protein. So this is the slide depicting the production of thyroid hormones. Next, coming to the what are the drugs that inhibits 5' deiodinase. So what is the function of deiodinase means? 5' D means remove iodinase means enzymes which is removing the iodine at the 5' position. So these enzymes will remove the iodine, 5' iodine present in monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine. So the inhibitors are the steroids, amiodarone, beta blockers, thioamides. Thioamides are the inhibitors in the iodinase enzyme. Next. So this is about the T3, T4 production. Now we will see the difference between T4 hormone and T3 hormone. So coming to the T4 hormone, thyroid gland secretion, T4 will be 90% and T3 hormone will be 9% and 91% will be the calcitonin. I said that thyroid gland will be secreting three types of hormone, T3, T4 and calcitonin. So So among them, T4 will constitute 90% of the thyroid hormone secretions. T3 will be the 9% and remaining 1% will be constituted by calcitonin. Coming to the T4, 0.04% T4 will be freely available. T3 is 0.4% only. And coming to the potency, T3 is most active form. T3 is the most active form. And T4 will have long half-life when compared to the T3. T3 is having short half-life period. So these are the differences between the T3, T4 hormones. Now we will see mechanism of action of thyroid hormones. So when a message is reached to hypothalamus will secrete TSH, that is thyroid stimulating release hormone. This hormones will act on pituitary gland, anterior pituitary gland, and this gland will secrete TSH. This TSH will secrete thyroid hormone T3. It will act on thyroid gland and it will secrete T3, T4 hormones. Thus secreted T3, T4 hormones will bind to the transporter proteins and will move into the cytoplasm. From the cytoplasm, cellular cytoplasm, they will enter into the nucleus, and in the nucleus they belong to the hormone response element, and they cause the transcription of the mRNA. Thus formed mRNA will enter into the cytoplasm, and again it produces proteins, and these proteins will show cellular effect. So this is the mechanism of action of thyroid hormones. So coming to the thyroid hormone functions. So I said that thyroid hormone target almost every body cell. That means the effect of the thyroid gland is on all parts of our body. So the thyroid hormone can enter the cell. It is capable of entering into the cell and then it binds to the intracellular receptors on mitochondria and nucleus. So the thyroid gland is having receptor on the mitochondria and the nucleus. So once it is bound, it shows effects. What are the effects included? Means first one, it will increase the ATP production. Next, it increases the cellular metabolism, energy utilization, and oxygen consumption of the cell. Next, it increases the body temperature, growth and development of skeletal, muscular, nervous system development in case of fetus and children. So these are the effects of the thyroid hormone. So if we compare individual effects, coming to the first one, effect of thyroid hormones on the cardiovascular system. Mainly it increases the heart rate. Next, it increases the force of cardiac contractions. It increases the stroke volume. It increases the cardiac output. It increases the upregulated catecholamine receptors. Next, coming to the effects of thyroid hormones on the respiratory system, mainly it increases the resting respiratory rate. It increases the minor ventilation. It increases the radiatory response to hypercapnia and hypoxia. So these are the effects of response related to the respiratory system. Now we will see the effects of thyroid hormone on kidneys. So they increase the blood flow. Thyroid hormones increase the blood flow to the kidneys. They increase the glomerular filtration. As a rate of blood flow is increased, glomerular filtration will be increased. Next, coming to the effect of thyroid hormone on oxygen carrying capacity. Mainly they increase RBC mass. Once the mass is increased, what will happen? Increase oxygen probability. They increase the oxygen dissociation from hemoglobin. They increase the oxygen consumption. They increase the mitochondria size, number, and key enzymes present in the cell. Thus, they increase the plasma membrane sodium potassium ATPase activity also. So, these are the effects of the thyroid hormones on respiration or transport of oxygen. Now, we will see the effect of thyroid hormones on intermediary metabolism. So, mainly thyroid hormones increase glucose absorption from the gastrointestinal tract. Next, they increase the carbohydrate, lipid, and protein turnover. They downregulate the insulin receptors. Next, they increase the substrate availability. So coming to the effect of thyroid hormones in growth and tissue development, mainly they increase the growth and maturation of bone, they increase tooth development and eruption, they increase growth and maturation of epidermis, hair, follicles and nails, increase rate and force of skeletal muscle contraction, inhibits synthesis and increases degradation of lipopolysaccharides in subcutaneous tissue. So these are the effects of the thyroid hormones. Now we will see the effect of thyroid hormones on the reproductive system. Mainly thyroid hormones are required for normal follicular development and ovulation in the female. They are required for the normal maintenance of the pregnancy. They are required for normal spermatogenesis in the male. So this is about the effect of thyroid hormones on the reproductive system. Now we will see the regulation of thyroid hormones. So this is the slide exhibiting the regulation of the thyroid hormones. So during the chronic release of thyroid hormones, chronic release means slow upward release. That means these hormones are slowly releasing and they will increase in their release. So chronic release will stimulate the thyroid releasing hormone, and this hormone reacts on anterior pituitary gland and it releases the thyroid stimulating hormone. As a result, this will act on thyroid gland and it secretes T4 and T3 hormones. Thus secreted T4, T3. T4 can be converted into T3 and thus form T4, T3 hormones which show systemic metabolic effects. So mainly hypothalamus, anterior pituitary gland and chronic release will stimulate the thyroid hormone release. So this is the regulation of the thyroid hormones. Now we will see gland. The main functions of thyroid gland are they speed up the metabolic rate. T4, T3 hormones speed up the metabolic rate. Calcitonin, it will lowers the blood calcium levels. These are the main functions of the thyroid gland. So coming to the thyroid pathologies. Pathologies means the diseases associated with the thyroid gland. So there are two conditions. If the thyroid hormone is secreted in excess amount, that condition is called hyperthyroidism, and if it is secreted in low amounts, it is called as hypothyroidism. So what are the pathologies associated with the thyroid gland or thyroid pathologies? First one is the goiter formation, lack of iodine, or it interferes with the negative feedback control of thyroid stimulating hormone, or it may result in abnormal enlargement of the thyroid gland. So if you see this flowchart, the hypothalamus is secreting the thyroid release hormone. This is acting on anterior pituitary gland. As a result, thyroid stimulating hormone is secreted, and this thyroid stimulating hormone is acting on thyroid gland. So we are getting T3, T4 hormones. These T3, T4 hormones, what will happen means low amounts will cause low negative feedback. That means effect will be low, anterior pituitary gland. As a result, excess TSH will be secreted, and this excess amounts will act on thyroid gland and they cause hypertrophy, which leads to goiter. So I repeat once again, the hypothalamus will secrete the TRH. The TRH will act on anterior pituitary gland. As a result, TSH will be produced. This will act on the thyroid gland, and this thyroid gland, if there is sufficient or adequate iodine availability, T3, T4 hormones are produced. These T3, T4 hormones will show negative feedback. That means they again act on hypothalamus and they will inhibit the release of TRH in normal thyroid conditions. In abnormality, that means if iodine availability is inadequate, what will happen? Low T3, T4 hormones will cause or they will show low negative feedback. That means TSH will be acting more on thyroid gland. Excess TSH will be acting on thyroid gland. As a result, thyroid gland will enlarge, and that condition is called hypertrophy, which is called as goiter. So this is about goiter. And now we will see the major difference between hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. So in case of hypothyroidism, how we will identify a hyperthyroid patient and hypothyroid patient? In case of hypothyroidism, sweating is seen and neurotopic anxiety. That means the patient will be anxiety and fine tremor. Tremor means what will happen? Shivering will be seen. Fear, little fear. So, if we keep a paper or if we ask him to touch a paper, what will happen? That paper will be shivering. That is called fine tremor. And next, brisk reflexes are shown, and the diarrhea, weight loss. Weight loss is mainly seen in hypothyroidism. Osteoporosis, atrial fibrillation will be seen. In case of hypothyroidism, what will happen means the main symptom is hair thinning. That means loss of hair. Depression. Depression is main, and big tongue, croaky voice. Voice will be somewhat rough. Dry skin is the main symptom. Cold skin. That means they cannot bear cold. Cold intolerance is also one of the identification for hypothyroidism. So by these symptoms we can differentiate. We can identify a hyperthyroid patient and hypothyroid patient. So what are the diseases related to thyroid gland? Now we will see the diseases of thyroid gland. In case of hypothyroidism, that means if the thyroid hormone secretions are less, that condition is called hypothyroidism. Mainly Hashimoto thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disorder. Next, iron deficiency may also lead to hypothyroidism, and during some disease treatment, drugs, imidodorine use during the use of imidodorine, hypothyroidism may arise due to radiation exposure, due to pituitary tumors, and myxedema, life-threatening condition of thyroidism. All these conditions will come under hypothyroidism. Coming to hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease is classified under hyperthyroidism. And next, toxic multinodular goiter. That means nodules will be seen at the neck region. And thyroid storms relates to hyperthyroidism. These are the diseases related to thyroid gland. So, by this we can say that thyroid hormone is playing an important role, and simply we can say that thyroid hormone is controlling the entire system, entire functions of the system. Thank you all.